Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. This is our 29th week of doing these, and it keeps getting more fun.
It
This
does.
is LaCroix, and this is my daughter. Oh, I do that all the time. My daughter, Julie. We've been demonstrators for over 19 years. I signed up under Julie all those many years ago. And we were both working full-time jobs.
Right.
And so I never thought all these years later that I'd still be doing this, but we live 2 states apart. And so we don't get together that often, although you wouldn't know it over the last couple of months. We seem to have been, kind of bunching up our visits, but because we live so far apart and we don't get together that often, we love to stamp together. So we decided to do it online. And then Julie came up with this brilliant idea to do this and share it with all of you. So over lunch in Hawaii, we formed Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie, and here we are. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Mom. I love doing this so much, and I forgot what I was going to say. It left my head. It's just fun to have this time to share every week.
Yeah.
And so each week we pick a different stamp set or bundle or suite, and then we each create a project. And I think it's really fun to see how each of us approaches a new product, and our cards or projects are always so different, and I think our individual styles really shine through. So I think it's fun to have two different styles represented in our weekly videos.
Yeah, it is fun. And there go the dogs. I know you live here. Dad just went down the stairs and they barked at him as he came down the stairs. But anyway, what I find interesting though is sometimes we pick the same colors and we don't know. We don't pre-plan. And so we'll pick certain elements that are the same, but yet our styles are uniquely different. Although Julie's is clean and simple, and I like clean and simple as well. So yeah. So
you tend to fuss a little more over your cards. I'm thinking about some of your projects, and you do all kinds of detailed die cutting and layering and collaging, and I usually stray away from all that fussy stuff. But always so beautiful.
Well, I do like clean and simple as well, because I think your cards are just really, truly awesome. And I have cased them, give you credit. And, if I pick one, I say, oh, Julie design this card, and and they'll say, oh yeah, I saw that on her blog, because a lot of my customers follow your blog as well. So, which is fine. That's good. I'm glad. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. And we're going to see each other in a few days.
I cannot wait.
I know.
Literally just a couple days this week for Christmas. So it's going to be so much fun. I'm looking forward to filming together in person a couple times, I hope.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so.
And just doing lots of stamping and playing with all of the new product that's coming out soon. So unfortunately, we don't have a sneak peek for you today. But I promise we'll do some sneak peeks soon. Today we're turning back to the annual catalog and taking a look at a beautiful suite called Simply Elegant. So let's get started. Let's jump right in. Are you ready, Mom?
I'm ready.
Okay. And get my other light on there. Okay. Elegantly or Simply Elegant. I was looking at this. It says elegantly said. This is in the annual catalog on page 68 and 69. And I thought this was a really good choice because this designer paper has black and gray and all of the metallics. And I thought it was so beautiful for New Year's. And so even though we don't have any New Year's specific stamps, I thought this would be a good suite if you're looking for some late winter or New Year kind of colors and themes. So here's the designer paper. It's a specialty paper, and there is foil accents on every single piece. The foil accents are gold, silver, and copper. So you have all 3 metallics, all of them represented on this pattern. And then black and basic gray are the other colors. This is a 12 by 12 paper, and I've just cut it down so you can see. On the back side, we have very vanilla, black and gray, and also some white. So in this paper, you have both the basic white and the very vanilla. in there. Very vanilla is a color that I don't use enough. So I kind of like having it in the designer paper. It kind of forces me to do that. So in the suite, we've got this gorgeous paper. And then we also have a punch bundle. So here it is. It's called Elegantly Said. And then the tag is the Elegant Tag Punch. And I feel like this is either a love it or hate it punch. I wasn't so sure about it myself because I just feel like it was so specific on one side, but there are some fun ways to play around and create different things with the punch. So I'm going to show you that in a second. So we have a red rubber stamp set and the coordinating punch. And then the other thing in this suite is, oh, you know what? I guess it's not part of the suite. No, it is. Okay, yeah. So the suite has an item number here. We've got the bundle, the designer paper, and then the Simply Elegant trim is gold and silver cording. So really versatile and goes well with the designer paper. The other thing that's not part of the suite as far as like part of the item number, but is pictured and kind of goes with it are these new boxes. They're called Simply Classic treat boxes. The item number is 155555566. That's 3 5s in a row. And there are little square boxes. So you get 10 boxes, and the gold ones are the top of the box and the white one is the bottom of the box. And these are my kind of boxes because they don't require any additional adhesive. So you're just going to fold on all the lines and then tuck that in. And so that is the bottom of the box. The other thing I really love about these is they're super, super sturdy. I think you can see the thickness here. Like it's a really great weight to hold, you know, a nice gift or candy. Here's the measurement. It's just short of 2 inches. There you go. Just short of 2 inches, 2 inches tall and just short of 2 inches on each side. And then I have done the gold one as well, and it just fits on there. So no adhesive for these boxes. I love this little ribbon on top. I feel like it could be an ornament if you wanted to like decorate that and hang it. I don't know if the weight of whatever's inside might make it fall, but by itself, it holds together okay. And so I created a project. I copied the catalog right here, and I did some embossing around the edges. Now here's my tip. This stamp, the lace border, is really long, and you'll want to stamp on and emboss the box while it's flat. So one on one side and then one on the other side before you would assemble it. But it's pretty easy to make up this project. I almost wasn't going to even show it because it just seemed like it was too easy. But I did want to share you a tip for the designer paper. So I cut this at 1 inch by, or maybe it's 1 1/4. I think, oh, let me look. 1 1/4. 1 1/4 by 8 1/2. And I just then did like some, you know, pushing down and, you know, getting it to be rounding on the corners. But here's my little tip is if you go right to the edge, then you have these edges that, you know, maybe don't line up or seem kind of loose. So go a little bit over one edge and then tuck that underneath, and then that comes right to the edge here. So you have a nice clean seam there. So I'm going to just put some regular adhesive on this. Let me just move that out of the way a little bit. So I just used regular seal.
Doggone it, Julie. I wasn't going to buy these boxes.
I was thinking these would be so cute for like an anniversary party. Like I said, Christmas, New Year's, like if you're having a fancy dinner, you know, you could have these be little favors on the table. I really do think that they would make really beautiful like Christmas ornaments even.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Really easy using this strip of paper. Now this one is a little smaller because I had the embossed image here. I think this was 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm just going to take the twine and just wrap it around and then tie a bow. So you could make these up super fast and have them ready for a party. And the way that I'm wrapping the paper around and decorating, you can still open and close that box without tearing apart the decoration on the box. And I think sometimes that is really hard when you're making like favors. It's hard not to make it so that it can, you know, like it just gets torn apart and then it feels sad, you know, like you don't want to open it. But I love that this can be opened without, you know, interfering with that decoration. One of the stamps in the stamp set is for you. So I just stamped that like on a little piece of cardstock, and I'll add that with a Stampin' Dimensional like that. So super easy. Unfortunately, I only have one package, so I don't have enough for Christmas dinner. Like maybe just the grown up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's the treat boxes. They're not part of the suite, but they definitely coordinate with the suite, and they're just so cute. So you're gonna actually find those treat boxes here in the back of the catalog. There's a whole page of packaging basics on page 137, and they're right in the middle here. They're number 7. So if you're looking for those, we'll put the link in the video description as well of all the things that we're using today. All right, one last thing I wanted to show you before I flip it over to you, Mom. Right here, I love this little tip about extending the tag punch. So this tag punch is, let's get that ruler back out. It's about 2.5 inches long, but if you want something longer, like they've done here, you can take a piece of cardstock that is 1 3/4 inch, and you can feed it in through the center. So I'm coming in from the back, and I'm pushing it through one end, and then I'm going to do the same thing and push it through the other end. So now I have like a really jumbo tag. So let me show you. Here is like the regular size tag, and then you can make a really big one. The other thing you could do is you can punch both ends to be rounded and create, you know, a rounded tag, or both ends to be pointy like I did on this card. So at first I wasn't feeling this elegant tag punch, but the more I started playing with it and seeing how you can change it and make some different styles, then I really started coming around. And I know you've got a sample to share with the long tag, Mom. Are you ready for me to switch the camera?
I am. So this was a swap card that I received. Oops, let me put this one down. A swap card that I received from Holly Sutton. And I believe she cased, if you pull the catalog back over, Julie, I think she cased, there's one in there anyway that looks very similar to this, but she changed up the colors.
I like that polished pink. So the tag that I showed is like the one behind, and then the one in front has 2 rounded ends. So it uses the same tag to round both ends of the other piece as well.
Yeah. And then she stamped on the inside as well. And then I just love this. I think it's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got that on the front with a couple of gems here. So that's that was that card. And then the other sample that I have, I might as well just show the other sample, is this one, which has, I love this flower paper. And then a couple of flowers that are just clear embossed with some of the glittery black, and then one of the tags cut with "Wishing you a wonderful birthday" embossed in copper with a piece of copper paper.
That's so pretty.
Yeah. So those are the 2 samples I have, and I'm going to show you another card now that, and I'm using Very Vanilla, and I've chosen this design, and the flip side of that is this. So I'm using the side with the gold embossing on it. So this is, I don't know what to call this. I called it a 4-fold card, but I lied. It's not a 4-fold card. So
maybe it's a 3-fold card.
Maybe. But I typed this up, and then I realized I have an error here. So I'll explain that in a minute. So the card base is 8 1/4, not 8 1/2. It's 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. and it's scored, and I'll have the measurements in the directions too. It's scored at 2 1/4, 3 1/4, 5 inches, and 6 inches. And then the designer series paper, you'll need 2 pieces of 5 by 1 3/4 inch. And you'll need 1 at 5 and 1 1/4 inch. And then the coordinating cardstock mats, which I'm doing in black, is you'll need 2 at 5 1/4 by 2 inches, and then 1 at 5 1/4 by 1.5 inches. And then if you're using a different color card base, so for example, I'll show you this one, then you'll want some basic white for the back. So this is the card. We're doing this actually at a shoebox swap next week with my team. And so the back of it, oh, I got ink on this. Whew. So the back of it, because you want someplace for people to write. So I actually just put 2 pieces of white on the back. And I bet my flower. But this will fit into a regular medium envelope. Okay.
You literally read my mind. I was just going to ask you that. And I see though why you called it a 4-fold card, because you do have 4 score lines. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, okay. If you say so, Julie. You know what? While I've got these here, I think I'm going to just glue these together and then I'll do my scoring. So I'm getting out my trusty favorite liquid glue, because that's how I roll. Oh, man.
Okay. Do you ever find with the liquid glue that you get glue lines under designer paper, like where you've scribbled the glue, like that you can tell where the glue is?
No, that I haven't.
Okay. Because I don't use a lot of liquid glue, but I've heard that from other people that.
Well, yeah, you have to be careful about how much you use. If you put big globs, I could see where that would kind of poke through, but you just really want to have a very light touch with it.
Okay. That's a good tip.
And you can kind of smush it around a little bit too, so that you don't have big bumps of glue. Because if you do too much, you risk it globbing out the corners as well. I don't know, sometimes I do break out the seal and use that, but I do like my liquid glue. Okay. All right, so I'm going to set these aside for a moment, and I'm going to bring out my, let me just put my glue away. Bring out my paper trimmer. My my score blade popped off and I lost it. So I'm going to use a score tool. All right, so we're going to score at 2 1/4. I always feel like I'm going to jump. See, I'm moving it. Doggone it. I usually use my scoring tool over by my trimmer. So 2 1/4.
Does it help to put that flap down when you're scoring, even
will
with
it go through? Oh, it will go through. Never mind. I didn't think it would fit through. So yes. But you know what? I can't really see it. Yeah.
Either way.
Well, that's better. Well, we'll see here. And then 5 inches and 6 inches. This way, I think. I'll just have to be careful. Go a little bit slow. I could have dragged that whole great big thing over here, but and 6 inches is our last little guy here. And that's why you have to cut that 1/4 inch off, because you'd have one side too big. And then to fold this, you're going to fold this up. Do I have that right? I think so. And then fold this down. And then I'm going to get my this down so that you wind up with this. All right, let me get this out of the way. And then I'm going to bring out my Sure I am. What? Here it is. I lost it. All right. Because this is a card I think you really need to have some good creases. And I don't know if you guys can see it okay with the vanilla on the camera. Okay, so there is our card base. And I am going to, I think I'm going to do this first. The other pieces that I did, I'll show you this, is I embossed the flower in black and the For You in black as well. And then I took, I used the layering circles dies. And so I just took the dies sizes that I wanted, because you're not going to see this hole, right? So you can kind of conserve some of your gold foil paper. And the same thing with this. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those on real fast so they can dry as well. Oh, yeah, I love to emboss. And I was surprised, Julie, because you're not a big embosser.
I'm not, but this suite with the metallics it begs to be embossed.
True. This is very true. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to stamp a little bit on the back, just for interest, along here. So because this is kind of bumpy, I'm going to kind of open this up. And so I'm going to kind of figure out where I want to try to center this a little bit. And I like to use numbers. And so I've got the centimeter side up. So I'm just going to, let's go down here to 10. So I've got 5.5 centimeters. So I'm going to try to do it in the middle. So I'm going to kind of go on either side of the 13 millimeter mark here. And then flip it around. Do the same thing here. Oh, Lordy, I'm getting the ink. No. I am such a messy stamper, I swear.
That's definitely something we have in common. I always have inky hands.
Oh, man, I know, but I'm smearing it. I don't know where it's coming from.
Well, once you get it on your finger, it's like game over.
Yeah, that's pretty much true here. Anyway, I just wanted to show a little interest on the back. And that's kind of my little trick for kind of measuring it to try to get it somewhat even. If that makes sense. Anyway, all right, so now we're ready to kind of assemble our card. We bring our pieces back in here. This is not a difficult card to make. You can make them, pretty easy. And I think it lends itself to all different kinds of patterns and styles and sweet. You can have all kinds of fun with this. My phone is beeping. I don't know if someone's trying to leave me a message or what, but I don't know if you guys can hear it or not.
Nope, I hear nothing.
I also like this pattern paper because it's kind of, it doesn't matter. This one won't be upside down. Whereas paper that we're using, which is Sneak Peek celebration paper, does have a direction. So, and I use the medium daisy from the annual catalog.
That's pretty.
Thanks. I'm bringing you one.
Aw.
At this point, we want samples, right?
That's right.
Okay. So there is that part of our card. And then this guy, I got a hair or something. So you want to be a little bit careful about where you put this. I kind of want this off to the left a little bit. So I don't want to put any adhesive there. So I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive kind of along here. Yeah, come on. There we go. Okay. And then this guy I'm going to put up on dimensionals.
I love how you cut the small circle out of the big one.
Well, yeah, it's we want to save our gold foil paper.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to throw a couple little dimensionals on here. And put this on here. But we're not quite done yet because you know me. I got to do a little bling, right?
But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more. So I brought out the Gilded Gems. I tried a few different little things.
Perfect.
And yeah, this isn't a sanctioned Stampin' Up thing. So just ignore me.
Where's your take your pick tool?
It's across the table.
Oh. You've had that for a long time. You got that before there was a take your pick tool.
Yes. There was a scrapbooking store literally a mile or two away, and it's no more, but I bought some in there. So I just added a couple of the Gilded Gems to the center of the flowers.
Beautiful.
And so that is this. It's a very, very, I think, elegant version.
Yes.
Can be used for pretty much anything. I think this might be kind of fun to do some Valentine's Day cards, with some.
Oh,
art.
yeah.
So that I'll be kind of maybe looking to do something like that, maybe for Hostess Club next month. And then just to write a little note.
Oh, perfect.
Almost looks like a dead bug.
Oh, no, it does not.
Come on.
There's like flowers on one side. That's not a dead bug.
Okay.
It's lace. It's lacy.
It is lace. It is. You were talking about that lace edging. And I measured it because I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do that along the back.
Uh-huh.
It's 5 inches.
Okay.
So when you have a big piece of paper.
Oh, it doesn't go all the way across.
No, believe me, I tried because I would have preferred that. Actually, I bet a couple of more of these over here on either side. Ooh, maybe. I don't know.
Did you show all your samples or did you have anything else to share?
Oh, I did have one more thing to share. And this goes back to last week. And again, I feel really bad with it.
Oh, stop.
So
a lot of people said that they liked the basket that way.
Oh, ripped apart.
They did. Well, they thought it looked kind of like rustic, and then it was nice. I like it complete like that.
Yeah,
it is so pretty.
What I did, I ended up not using that double-sided adhesive, so I just used a little bit of the liquid glue and glued it on the crumb cake, and then just trimmed around it when it was dry.
Yeah.
So that would be my recommendation rather than trying to play with that, because I tried it a couple times and then it didn't work, and I thought, how did I luck out that first time? It must have been just luck.
Well, I think the thing is it wasn't cutting all the way through the adhesive sheet, but it did cut away through the cardstock.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when you peeled the cardstock off the adhesive sheet, it was okay. But
yeah. Here's another little thing. This little die that I used. I've lost it.
No.
Gone. Dad and I have searched everywhere. He said, clean your table and I'll bet you find it. So say a prayer that I find it, but otherwise I'm sad.
I have something for you in your stocking.
Yeah.
You'll just have to wait and see a few more days.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so this is a repaired card. So a little bit smaller piece of the basic white, because I think it looks better with more of the Merlot showing.
Yeah.
And so, yes. So I really hope that this card sticks around, because I want to do some of these for next year. All my cards have been mailed. So did you get yours yet?
No, our mail is slow. I haven't.
Hey, it's your turn.
All right, I'm ready. Let me switch the camera back over to my desktop. So I have got all my pieces stamped. So this is going to be pretty quick. And actually I showed this another time on camera, but I didn't have the card anymore. And so I wanted to share it as a sample. And then I thought I would just show how I put it together again. So this is an extended gatefold card. So the card base is 5.5 by 8.5. And it's scored at 2 1/8 and 6 3/8 inch. That light is terrible. I'm sorry. Anyway, we'll have it in the video description. So I did 2 because when you cut a card stock in half, you get 2. So this is going to start as a regular gatefold card. I should get my bone folder. That's my broken one. I have several. So get a nice good crease on here, normal gatefold card. So it meets in the middle, but this is going to be an extended gatefold card. So I have another piece of cardstock. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I am going to glue it. Yeah, to glue it onto one part of the gatefold. And I'm going to put the adhesive on this side so that I don't, mess it up and over glue it. So this is going to have just a little bit of a border. And then when the card closes, it's going to like cover.
Oh, I love that.
So I call it an extended gatefold because we sort of have extended that one side of the gate out. For the inside, I have a piece that's the same size, 4 inches by 5 1/4. And so I've stamped the inside pieces there. And I'm going to glue these together at the same time. So let me just do this really quick. And for the inside. So this is a really simple fun fold too, but just kind of a different way to, open up and dress up your card. Then I have a piece of that Simply Elegant designer paper, and this is 1 inch by 5 1/2 inches. So it's going to go all the way top to bottom. And you can put it, I'm going to kind of put it over to the side just a little bit. So it's like closer to the middle. Just to, like, I don't know. I don't really like the center. So I'm just going to go over to the side a wee bit. And then to finish off our card, I have a stamped and punched tag. And I couldn't decide between the loopy loops or the bow on the tag. So I did one of each. Which one do you like?
I like the bow.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I like loop-de-loops when you're trying to keep your card flat. It works really well. But I think that they're kind of flat and look funny. So I think I might prefer the bow on this one too. But leave a comment and let us know which one you like. Do you like the bow or do you like the loopy loops? So this is the extended gatefold card. And so I made this for Amy and Josh for their anniversary back in November. And I just substituted, there's some really other great sentiments in here. So we've got the birthday, happy anniversary, thank you for you, and then just some nice little stamp sets in there. So this stamp set I think is so good for wedding, anniversary. Like it's just so like elegant, and I think really serves a lot of needs. Well, I have a couple samples to show you. Some of them I made in a couple swaps. This is the one I briefly showed you earlier with 2 strips of designer paper, and then I double punched that tag to sort of have that fun shape. Here's another one where I showed off different strips of the coordinating designer paper. So these are nice. 1 by 3 inch pieces of designer paper. And then it's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 on black. So really simple layout you can really use with any designer paper. And then this one with that beautiful paper, this one's by Celine Kempton. And last card is by Donald Shefsky. Nice. Really simple, elegant. Like that's the name of the suite, right? Simply Elegant. All right, let's switch the cameras back over and show off our projects.
Please.
Oh my goodness. It's weird. Like the camera is sort of opposite on Zoom. Well, I do love our projects. I think we shared some fun folds, and the thing I love about Stampin' Up! Products and like sharing fun folds and techniques like we did today is that you can easily substitute like any stamps, any designer paper that you have at home. And that is always my hope and intent, is that the people who are watching at home can take these ideas and, just use what they have at home to create beautiful projects to share with others. So
yeah, easily duplicatable.
Yes.
Is the phrase I like to use. And I like to do that for my team too. I have some fairly new stampers on my team. And so I don't want them to feel really intimidated by projects that we may do in a meeting or that we share online or whatever. So yeah, I like ones. I mean, and if I do one that's really tricky, like the never ending card, we did that at Hostess Club. and I could see, I mean, there were a few folks who've done those before, who've been stamping probably longer than I have. But there, I could just see all of a sudden their eyes just started to like pop out and get bigger and bigger. And I was, you know what, ladies, we're going to do this together and you're going to see just how easy it is. And I had instructions for them. And when we got all done with it, they were like, oh, that was pretty easy. So
paper crafting shouldn't be stressful. So
exactly. It has to be fun. Or why do it, right?
Exactly. I definitely feel like it's a little therapy, like it's a little stress relief for me. Crafting in general is. So
yep, I agree with you.
We're gonna get so much stress relief therapy in next week while you're here.
So is baking cookies. So the first order business.
Because that's the best thing that pairs with stamping is eating baked goods. Chocolate. Yeah, it's going to be a great week. Well, so before our next Sunday stamping, it will be Christmas. So we should wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And we'll see you before the new year. So I won't say and a Happy New Year.
That's right. And if you're watching this a few months from now, we hope you had a wonderful Christmas.
Yes.
Or holiday season, whatever holiday you celebrate.
All right, well, let's wrap it up, Mom. I will see you in a couple days.
Yeah.
We hope everybody at home has a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday with some new projects.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.